1895. 1895, that'd been pretty close to when these guys were
That
living.
don't make sense.
Oh, maybe she died young. No, that would be young. She'd
So-
have been 90 years old. Good gosh. I don't even know where we got that information. Maybe Daddy had.
I don't either, but I never remember.
Look, she died way later than he did.
Right, but I never remember any time hearing about her being here.
Okay, maybe she stayed over
But
there.
this, and I'm not too sure that this grandfather came here.
He might not either. I bet they said no.
I don't think either one of them did. I think this is the first one. I think these brothers all came with them, but I don't know that he stayed here, and I don't know that he died here.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back. We'd have to look about something about that. But this is the one.
But John Ormsby's buried here, so is
Right.
Uncle Billy.
Right.
Then did John Bell come back and buried up here too?
Yeah.
And Joseph Ormsby got buried here? All his Protestants?
Right. And then all these fellas, these three fought in the Civil War. Uncle
Billy did?
No, he was too young.
Too young. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sent
But
him
John
to
did,
school
right?
in Cincinnati. But this John Ormsby did. John Duke did, and he rode with Nathan Bedford Forrest.
He was running. That was the Uncle Joe that had the insurance company. Was it not?
Yeah, but this is Matilda's daddy, and this is the grandfather.
Right.
I had the three children, Joe and
Joseph and
Joe
Annabelle.
and John and Annabelle,
Right.
and
Which is all our
immediate
folks.
family.
yeah.
Uncle John, grandfather, was living down at Craigie after they had bought this thing.
Right.
And
Well, he went to Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
John Bell did.
Right.
And he built. We think he might have used his engineering smart to build a dam or whatever, maybe.
right in the mill, whatever. He might live for a year, so he lived, for a goodly long time after that, and had all them children. Married Granny. But that was his reason why he had to stay down there and live with Uncle Bill and
Oh, he lived with Uncle Billy. huh?
because they were down
This
there in the
Uncle Billy.
cabin.
So Uncle Billy was a bachelor and had no children too.
Right.
So.
So then, and Uncle Joe went to Vanderbilt,
And he lived on 4th Avenue.
and he lived on
Probably up here
no,
by 4th Avenue.
not
Where
4th Avenue, 4th Street.
4th Street.
4th Street.
East Nashville, where we were today. 4th
Right.
Street.
He lived on 4th Street, and then
Lived with
she
Uncle
lived
Joe.
down in Craigie for a while, and then she came and lived with Uncle Joe and took care of Matilda and Gertrude after their mother died.
4th Street.
At
Okay.
4th Street.
But then, do you think maybe Joseph Ormsby started the insurance company?
No, this grandfather started the insurance.
So he
company.
did.
Right.
Even though they bought the farm, so he had the insurance money
He
to help
was
Uncle
just
Billy pay
invest-
for it, maybe.
He was just investing. This was an investment for them. I
Yeah.
don't think they ever planned to live down there or do anything
Right.
like that. And probably our grandfather wouldn't have either if he hadn't been hurt.
We got the receipts for the land. It was like 97 cents. So that was like we got those 1897.
All right. Concern had a number of hotels and things
He would have
down
been 18
there.
at that point.
This, grandmother that
Yeah.
you remember, Big Granny, mother moved down there to run one of the hotels.
Big Granny did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Her mother, Miss Hawkins. So she was down there running one,
Yeah.
and they married in 1898,
Well, it says here
1897.
1897.
And then John was born in 98. They had a child in 99 and lost him. And then they had Joe.
Daddy, Lawrence Livingston, Mercer. Mercer was the baby. And then here were their first cousins, which was Tilly,
Right,
who just lived to be 103.
right.
And Trudy, which was her sister who lived in Atlanta with the Crockett's. All these Crockett's down there.
And in between Daddy and Martha, they had another child. Her name was Florence. Well, they named her Florence. And
We
she
didn't
was
even record those, did we?
she was a Down syndrome child.
Really?
We had one picture of her. I said, "How come flatten her eyes up?"
Yeah.
So, Anyway, she didn't live. They really didn't think they were gonna have any more, and then 7 years later they had Marcia.
Yeah, Dave's 8 years older than Mercer, huh?
7.
7 years.
Together. They let Stanley in play sometime, and they let Trudy in to play sometime.
But then Annabelle would take care of them all because she
Yeah.
was a sister and she come down to stay there in the summer.
Right.
So the mill they built, though, that was where the pond was that's mentioned in the book,
Right.
where everybody was coming down and
Swimming.
swimming and canoeing and boating as they did.
Right.
What a cool deal, 1900, huh?
Mm-hmm. And they.
Oh, Uncle Joe, this
Joe
Joseph Hornsby.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got his wallet.
Yeah.
It says J.O. Trainer.
Right.
Well, it could have been this guy's wallet because
No,
he's a J.O. Trainer.
no.
Okay, this guy's got the wallet.
Right.
So, root cellar over here and all that kind of stuff. And they built the dam, and then they had these children. And who's who here? Well,
This is Uncle Stanley. This is Uncle Joe. This is John.
this
oldest
is
one.
oldest. Yeah.
That and Bill and Stanley and Daddy and Marcia. And I,
So that's Billy, isn't it?
this is Uncle Bill.
That's Bill.
This is
That's
Stanley.
Stanley.
That's Tommy's daddy.
So I'm just looking at the birth order. So who's born first, born second,
Third,
third, fourth, fifth? Aunt Jean was
Yeah.
right here?
No, but before Daddy.
Yeah, Aunt Jean was older than
Right.
Daddy Marcia. That works. Okay. And that's all those boys, and that's all our cousins we've had running around all these years. And he got an engineering degree, and he and Catherine and Dorothy Blair. So he got married first
Right.
to her. Did
To
they have kids?
Catherine, and that's Roberta's mother.
Oh, that's Roberta's mother. Roberta who died
Right.
last century, what, right?
Yeah.
And these people, Roberta, they lived in West Tennessee,
Right. Ripley.
Ripley, and they had a farm. Roberta and
Roberta was raised in Memphis by her mother.
oh, she was.
Yeah.
But
And
they,
I don't know the. We went
but
down.
they came to family reunions. These guys.
Yeah.
Roberta
One of
came with
with Robert.
with Robert.
The other boy was killed.
This boy was killed. Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's an only child, and they had a farm down in Ripley.
Hmm.
What was his dad's name? Wasn't
Anthony.
was it 7 years old then?
Yeah. They were just little.
Little bitty. So these two children with their grandmother got killed right out here by Georgina's house on
Davidson Road.
Davison Road. Wow. So Dorothy Blair died in '66 with both of these children at the same time. Boom, boom. And Beverly, who's still here, right?
Right.
Who's living down in the country, and
Has a Facebook.
what is she doing? She's got a
She's a
Facebook. but
nurse.
She's a nurse, right?
Nurse of baptism.
She's like 1 year old, it looks like here or so. 1 year old. And there's her brother John and Bill,
Because they were both.
or William. William got
born
married
after that
to the gal who was in the
circus.
circus owner. And I guess they're still living down in the country. So that's where we used to go swimming at the Aldersons. And they come all the way back, see? The tradition inherited the farm and everything. Then
What is
Uncle
that?
Joe, and this is Jada, if anybody, when we talked about it in the films, Aunt Jada, Joda, was Georgia Hutton. How do you get Jada out of Georgia, I wonder?
One of us couldn't say
Georgia?
Georgia because everybody else called it Georgia, like us children. It must have been.
But they didn't have any children either. They were living they lived in Craggy, so I mean right down in Craggy.
But they lived out there on the ridge when I was little. In
Like
the
over-
house, in the little cabin that Uncle Bill had
Yeah.
built.
Okay.
And that's where Butch says, you know, he went and stayed all summer because his all summer was like 1 week. And we got to ride around on the wagon with Uncle Joe, and he got to go to the barn with him, and he just thought he was
Hot-
one of the
hot
cat's
stuff, huh?
whiskers. And then he got mad when he had to sleep in the drawer like I'd had to do, but I'd outgrown the drawer.
Pull out a big drawer and sleep in it, huh?
Yeah,
Bunk beds, huh?
bunk beds.
How about that?
Either that or 2 dining room chairs that had the sides on them, and then you had to sleep in those. 'Cause
Wow.
they didn't have extra bed space.
Got hit by a tree then.
They were
19.
taking or a piece of the house, I guess. They were taking something down.
He died the same year that the Dorothy right above him had the car wreck.
Right.
She died. She had the car wreck 5 months later.
And she was paying one of the nurses, and he said, well, they said, I'm paying Mr. So-and-so who's been here with you who's been here in the room with you. And he said, how much are you writing the check for? And she told him. And he said, how long has he been here? And a few other choice words. So he lost about, I guess, 3 weeks. He didn't. He didn't remember anything. And they kept saying, if he lives through the night, he has a chance to live tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Maybe
he had
10
a
years.
massive occlusion heart attack, and if he hadn't been in the hospital, we wouldn't have been able to keep him.
Wow. He'd have died. William Orsby. He was married to Elizabeth Harris, Libby. And who else did they have? They had
Yes.
her official name, wasn't it?
Her official name was she was born with Elizabeth Blackwell Trainer, but she said, let's see, what did Pete say? He said people called her Betty and Bets and Betsy and this and that and to another, so she was just going to change her name. And from then on, she was going to be Z. And if you didn't call her Z, she would.
And they had a mess of kids. And I wonder where all the children are. Are they in South Carolina or something?
Some of them over there in North Carolina near Butch. Ned, I think.
69, 79, 10 years later. Man, Christina Louise.
Somebody said she lived in California, but I don't know that for a fact.
Wow, we need to look her up, huh? So that's all the Billy Trainer people. So they more or less took over the insurance business that
Right,
John Ormsby started, that Joseph Ormsby kept running,
right.
and it was like,
Uncle Bill.
what's the name of that? Was it Trainer Insurance Company? Trainer?
Yeah,
Or
W.O.
Trainer Brook?
No, it was W.O. Trainer.
W.O. Trainer. Oh,
So,
W.
I think it was. Maybe it was J.O. Trainer. I guess it was J.O. Trainer and Son. So it would have been
J.O.
yes,
Trainer and Son, which had been him.
John Armstrong and Joe. That's what it was. J.O. Trainer and Son.
I believe that. 'Cause Uncle Billy was timber, right?
All right.
Okay, so then you get down.
Daddy said that Stanley was talking to his daddy to tell him that he was going to marry Aunt Laura. And he said, you're not going to be upset that she's Catholic, are you? Her for 6 months.
Really?
The Thornton grandfather.
Wow.
So,
That was serious, huh?
Yeah.
You might as well have been dating a Nazi or something.
yeah, but the Catholics at different times were frowned upon like
Well,
we're frowning on the Muslim.
the whole British Isle turned into Protestants, right? When Henry VIII went Church of England.
Right,
and-
but from then on they were ugly to all the Irish Catholics that came by and treated them all like
like dirt, yeah.
third class citizens, not even second class.
Well, they just watched them starve to death in the street. They
They
had
had 3 children. They had Tommy, that
Thomas
was the admiral.
Thomas Stanley. He was the admiral, just died.
Yeah.
He was running the whole Atlantic Fleet or something like that. And you and Butch went to his swearing in ceremony.
No, we were gonna go and something happened. I didn't get to, but Butch did.
Butch did, yeah. I mean, that's a big deal when you have a change of the guard.
Right, it
I mean,
was.
White
And
tie kind of
I
deal.
was sorry that we didn't go and
So-
participate more. And he married Joe.
And Walter and Lockie, right?
Right.
And Lockie had polio.
Right.
Polio, and she died in '85 when her polio came back. And did that just choke her or something, or break her back? Or?
No, but at the time, she had a lot of damage from the young. That
Yeah.
even though they had recovered and done okay, that there was a lot of damage done on the inside that they really weren't aware of.
She died when she was like 42.
Yeah.
There you are. Mary Joy, and they ended up kind of in,
The Navy.
yeah, but in over in Virginia.
Yeah.
So I wonder where the children are. So Thomas Stanley, Robert Scott Trainer, Walter John Trainer, they probably got children. We don't
One
know.
of them is here.
One's here.
The
Which-
oldest one is here.
He's a
One
Frenchman?
of them's in the Navy.
Really? Well, I call him up and say, hey, cousin. Yeah. See, 12, 20,
His
38.
birthday's in December.
And Butch is 12, 28, 38. But Butch, see, way down here. Rubber can't choose words. 12, 28, 38. So they were first cousins, see. So they're here, and Walter married Wilma, and they came to the family reunions, and Walter remodeled houses. And didn't have to advertise, he just word of mouth. And
Really good. And they have 2 children.
Joyce Amy Trainer and Walter David Trainer. You know anything about them? Have they any children?
I'm sure they do, but I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And they live out.
Where?
What about them?
I just need to see where they were.
Oh, here they are. So, Bill's oldest, black-headed, Robert Andrew Wade, who's our boy. He used to come over here all the time. Mark with his daughter, what was her name? Didn't get married, right? And she just died last year?
No, this year.
Was the year 2000?
No,
2010, right?
2010.
Yeah, 2010. Okay, so Georgina was next in line. So then Daddy, and then Mercer, right, died in 38. So barely knew him at all, did you?
Right, he died just before Butch was born. I think that I remember grandfather, but I'm not sure whether I do or not.
Butch, which is Lawrence Livingston Jr., because Daddy was Lawrence Livingston Sr. out. And there's not been a third. So Lawrence Livingston Jr., he married Judy. Well, first Christine married Bill Davis. They had Caroline, Augusta Christine Caroline Davis, and William Kaz Trainer Davis, so that's Kaz. Butch had married Judy, and they had Rita and twins Gregor and Leslie. And he now married to Kathy. Kathy had her 2 children, I don't have them listed here. And Greg's got more children on here that's listed. He's got John Randolph and what's the second?
Got John and Robert
Phillips we saw the other day. And those 2,
talking to Hazel.
she was married to Martha Ann, and Michael McNeil rather, Martha Ann was, and they had the 2 children, John and Lisa. And that's where, guess what, still in Kentucky?
Yeah, Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Jeffersonville, Indiana. What's she doing?
She has at least 1 child, and I can't decide on her Facebook if she's got 2 or not.
Same mother, which is Martha.
Tubbins.
And then Hazel, Mercer then married Hazel. I think they might have actually met when he was like building Oak Ridge or something. When did they get married?
No, he was out west.
What's that?
He was out west someplace.
Where he ran into her?
Wyoming.
And they had John, Robert, and Mike Logan. So Mike Logan's the architect. Was Ken Faulkner, who came to the first reunions, but you probably don't remember. He was playing tennis till he was
70s.
yeah.
And he beat Butch.
So Tilly and Attila Faulkner married Frederick Mason. They were over in Switzerland when I went over there in. Yeah, it was Swiss. And Anna's up. She was up there when you went to see her. And she lives up in
Now in New Hampshire and
New Hampshire. Yeah, there you go.
part of the year and in Bridgeport,
New
Connecticut.
Hampshire.
The other part of the year.
Oh, she's one of those dual property kind of
Yeah.
people. Yeah. And then Trudy had Gertrude Crockett and Robert Penn Crockett, and they were down in Atlanta area. Well, these 2 were. Cause I was in there, one of these people's wedding.
Trudy's.
Trudy's wedding? How was that?
Little Trudy, and then she had Trudy too.
She
Or
had
Trudy through.
Trudy Trainer Wade. This is really interesting because that Crockett married a Wade. We had Wades up here.
Maina Avent we know about because she was a painter here. I mean,
This. Oh wait, where's Maina? Oh wait, Maina Trainer.
Maina.
She was a painter. Now who lived to be 100 and was having a big party?
Ellen Weems.
Ellen Weems, yeah.
And she
Where is she?
is
She's up here somewhere too.
right here, her child. Ellen. She was Ellen Stokes Weems.
Weems. Oh, this Weems right here.
Yeah,
This Weems.
right.
So she lived to be 100, or where was she living? Somewhere like Tulip Grove, or?
No, she lived older than Ellen. And they had one child.
Just Livingston Fillmore Jr.
Right, Livingsfield Moore. But his
Oh, Livingfield.
his
What's
name
a weird
is
name? Livingfield.
Moore. Anyway, they had one child.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was in her name, you
Yeah.
know, be her money.
He bought out her little.
But then he tried to take it off on his income tax, and that's how everybody found out about it. Daddy used to just die laughing.
He took that as an expense in
Right.
his income
He
tax.
expensed it out on his income tax, of course, it hit the paper.
Oh man.
So then, Ellen and Mr. Walter Stokes,
Now what was the name for
Walter
him?
Stokes Elementary, because he gave him the land to build it on.
He granted the land grant, huh?
Okay. And
I think that's funny. I've heard of a Walter
Ellen-
Stokes school. I never noticed he was a
I
cousin.
didn't know his first cousin.
Wow.
And after Ellen married Mr. Will Weems, they went out and bought Fairview, and it was an old plantation.
Mm-hmm.
And they had
In
raised, yeah, and they had raised race horses out there, and they had all those little mare places for the mares to stay all up and down the driveway. And,
Or Avon, huh?
and they lived in Murfreesboro for a while,
Okay.
and then
We don't have regular dates either. So we only have the people that we were living with, which is,
from County Mayo.
I bet.
But then, you know, Mercer goes to, might go to Allen, and they say that there are no trainers in County Mayo.